Okay, so coffee's been made.
It's heavy.
It's apparently heavy. It's very heavy coffee, and we're ready. So we're gonna go explore the beach for a little bit this morning, and it's an interesting deal being basically the only people on an island. At first I thought this would be like totally cool, and don't get me wrong, it was totally cool. But there were times when I sort of felt like, well, this is weird, like we're in the middle of nowhere, like what if something happens, you know? And I didn't really wallow in it much. And hold on, I gotta move my coffee. Yeah, it's a little hot, but that should be good. Okay. Okay. But certainly, you know, there are a lot of things that you don't think about when you're on a resort, as an example. And this is a resort of some kind. It's just not done yet. But I'm really looking forward to getting back over to Palawan. And then Gracie and I are going to head down to another place that I found on Airbnb. I also found this on Airbnb, actually. I forgot to mention that. If you recall, one of the things that I would really like to do is instead of... I really kind of dug the movie Craigslist Joe. For a number of reasons, but it was... the main thing was the guy was, you know, cruising around on the goodwill of others. And I'm not saying I want to do that with Airbnb, but I am saying that my coffee is going to fall out of my hand, so hold on. But I am saying that I think it would be really neat to just like travel around on Airbnb. Now, Airbnb has added this other thing recently called experiences, which I understand, you know, it's an additional revenue source for them as well as the host. And, you know, it's actually a smart move if you think about it, because for the most part, people were sort of doing this for free. They were inviting people into their homes, and then they would be like, well, hey, you know, I mean, I've lived here. Do you guys want to go do anything? And they'd, oh, yeah, how do I get into town? How do I go snorkeling? How do I go horseback riding? How do I rent a bike? How do I, you know, and they would help them do that. So I think they found a way to sort of, certainly to monetize it, but also to put some sort of format around it, which is nice. So it's not just haphazard. Oh, I've got this clipboard on my kitchen table if you guys would like to go horseback riding. Put your name there, and then my buddy Andy from down the street will come by, you know, sort of thing. So there's a little bit more formality to it, which certainly the Americans seem to like. I would think Westerners maybe. And so the wind is really picked up. There wasn't a whole lot of, there was literally zero wind this morning in front of the house. And considering where we need to go, which is straight over there. Now the good news though is that if the wind's at our back, which it will be, that'll be fantastic. So we'll be over there, and then anyway, so then we're trying another Airbnb. But what I've decided to do as part of a full-blown, really exciting launch for Boracay Bag, and that was another reason why we came out here, is I wanted to find a really secluded tropical place to take a bunch of pictures of Boracay Bag and get some shots of it to sort of describe why I made what I made, as opposed to just a single strap Boracay bag, but also show you that, you know, you can take it hiking, you can take it wherever. But what I want to do is, what I'll be doing, what Boracay Bag will be doing, is we're going to give away, for the first 500 that we sell, each of those people will be put into a drawing for a 3-day, 2-night stay here on Cagdanao Island. The owner's name is Mike, basically. He's Israeli, I believe, and he's a wonderful guy, and very, very well spoken, very to be able to experience this, because I love Boracay, and it's the reason that I named it Boracay bag, and it was the bag that I used a lot in Boracay. For sure, they're available in Phuket and all the other sort of places. I mean, when we were at Sabang, for example, when we were heading over to the underground river, there's tons of them, and it was an excellent spot for it. In fact, that's what we brought with us. We had all our stuff inside our Boracay bags, and so they're everywhere, and I love Boracay. However, Boracay is no longer just this. With all things awesome, it's become incredibly popular. So, there's no little spaces by the beach. There are people selling things all day long, which is great if you want that. If you want to be able to buy a bracelet every 30 feet. Don't get me wrong, the sand in Boracay is absolutely gorgeous, as are the Filipinas, and I got my own, so that's pretty sweet. No, I'm gonna walk back this way. Should we want to walk back all the way to the huts? Okay. And the interesting thing about Boracay is it is known all over the Philippines, for sure. I didn't really know about it until people started telling me about it when I was saying I was going to the Philippines. And, but it's very, very popular. And it is arguably one of the most beautiful places to go, one of the more sought after places to go in the Philippines. Now I can tell you that I've been to other places in the Philippines that have had, and I have not been to many, that have had equally as awesome sand. I've been to a beach in Vietnam that had very similar sand. Now, at points, the beach is only about this deep in Boracay, and it's a lot flatter. So, this has quite a slope to it, and for a lot of people that would make walking less desirable, and going into the water and swimming a little bit more of a challenge. So, but nonetheless, I'll put a link below. You buy a Boracay bag, you get entered into a drawing for 3 days, 2 nights here in Cagdanao. There will be details on how you will get here, what you will have here, what you will be able to do here, and how you will get back from here. Now, at most you're buying a $50 bag. So, it's a promotion, and so it's not like, Boracay bag is going to make any money on this. But what I want to do is I want to make it reasonable. I don't expect every single person to be a Philippine citizen. So there's going to have to be some degree of we'll get you to the Philippines. I don't know what that looks like yet, but we'll have to figure it out. All I can tell you is that after staying here for a couple nights, or how long were we here? 3-4 nights, and about 3 or 4 days, I can tell you that 2 nights here and 3 days, you'd be able to enjoy it. Absolutely. We hiked all the way up there. The house is, which you can't see actually through the trees yet, the house is fantastic. The 6 guys that are here to take care of you, not the least of which is Benji, the island manager. Benji, the island manager, as well as the security guard, and the guys that just do regular maintenance and plumbing and taking care of the place. I mean, it's just they're just wonderful people, and they're all here to help. And you know, they'll feed you and they clean the house regularly and that sort of thing. So you'd be staying here, which is a 4-bedroom, 5-bath house. They refer to it affectionately on the island as the mansion. It's got a pool that I would submit is probably about 20,000 gallons. I'm not great at estimating that, but it could certainly, let's just say conservatively it's 20,000 gallons. Their generator, when you are here, will be absolutely fixed, and it's a it's a 55 kilowatt generator, so you've got plenty of power, and you've got a total of 7 air conditioners for the entire house. There is Smart and there is Globe available here for a minimum level of, you can certainly call and text, and you can absolutely do a minimum level of internet related things, with email being the majority of it. I would not say that you can surf websites here. And then every morning you wake up to at least this level of beauty, meaning that right now it's a little overcast. The clouds are pretty darn spectacular. And additionally, if you basically could care less about Boracay bags, which would hurt my feelings, but is completely understandable, or maybe if you just think, well, I'll just buy one and then I'll give it to somebody for Christmas. I won't use it, but it'll be a very low entry fee into basically being able to rent this place or stay here for free for 3 days. I'll put a link below, and that way, if you just want to come here and experience it, and have a talk with Mike, the owner, and experience a 270 square meter, 27 hectare island, which, oh, by comparison, it is twice the size of Necker Island. And if you know what Necker Island is, then you know that this is beautiful and large. Necker Island is Sir Richard Branson's island. And so this is twice that size. I kept comparing it to islands back in the Boston Harbor Islands, and I thought to myself, very few people probably know what I'm talking about. But if you want to live in a little bit of paradise, a little slice of heaven, then this is the way to do it. And Gracie says hello. And I say hello, and I say I hope you're happy and safe wherever you're listening to this. It's Mike's from Live My Ass Off saying I hope you're living the dream. Because if you're not living the dream, you're doing it wrong. All the best. Ciao.